Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Broad Street Boys. Today, we're just going to do a full Phillies episode because they reported the spring training yesterday, and pitchers started pitching today. Caleb and I have some really good information that we want to share with you. I'll let Caleb take it away. Go ahead.
So I'm obsessed with reading articles on Google, whether it's through The Athletic, ESPN, Fansided, Sports Illustrated. And I'm also obsessed with just scrolling through Twitter, looking at trade rumors, free agency rumors. What I saw today is it's a pretty good sign that Dave basically said we're probably going to make another move. So what Dave Dombrowski is waiting on right now is for the market to plummet down just a little bit so that the guys like Jordan Montgomery, Blake Snell, the value that they are demanding right now goes down a decent to a significant amount so that Dave can make a pitch to them. And then another thing that I saw was that John Middleton is right there with Dave. Like John Middleton's ready to throw money at these guys. So be ready for another move to come, whether it's a starter, a reliever, or maybe a bench bat DH type. So we're going to be talking about spring training started yesterday. Pitches and catches officially reported. There's some news with Wheeler. We might be extending him within the next couple of weeks, or it could be another Noah situation where the extension's going to happen, but it's just going to take maybe a year for it to happen. Alec Boehm, he's in arbitration, so there was a hearing today where they're going to try to reach a middle ground on what to pay him. More than likely, though, Boehm will get an extension, whether it's this week or at some point next offseason. And then Brandon Marsh, he had, UCL surgery?
Yeah.
Was a success, and he thinks that he'll be ready by opening day. Now, Brandon Marsh, if that recovery takes longer than expected, where he comes back around the All-Star mark, don't be shocked if Dave tries to trade or sign not a big-name outfielder, but a guy who could come in and just rake for us. Probably defense won't be super high because that's how the Phils are. We prioritize the offense over the defense, and we can do that with guys like Rojas in the outfield now. But losing Marsh would hurt because he's got defense to speed, and he hits for average over power.
I think this is all very interesting because I think if you talked to us about 3 weeks ago, we probably would have said the Phils are done making moves. So this is pretty encouraging. At least to me, I would have said that it's very likely that we're done.
When names like Phil Maton, Hector Neris, when those guys left the board, I was like pretty confident that like Dave was done making moves, and then he signed Spencer Turnbull to a minor league deal.
Which I don't hate, by the way.
I don't hate that. I mean, like the dude had a very solid 2020, 2021 season before he got hurt. And signing him to a minor league deal, I think, is super helpful as well because he's going to be on the 40-man. He's going to be on the roster.
Yep.
I don't know what the plans are for him. Probably bullpen piece. Mm-hmm. Some people think that he could be the sixth man in the rotation if need be.
Yeah.
But also, like with that rotation, you got guys like Mick Abel that could potentially come up and take a sixth spot. I don't know what the plans are for him because I think that if he's going to come up, it's going to be at some point this year. So if an injury happens, I think Mick Abel is going to be the guy, kind of like a Rojas situation where we needed an outfielder. Yeah. A lot of people thought that we were going to trade for Bellinger. Meanwhile, the answer was in our minor league system. I think I said this last time where a lot of the answers to our problems right now are waiting in our minor league system.
I agree.
Mick Abel is one of those guys. A lot of people want us to go after a closer. Orion Kirkering, they're hoping can develop to be the stud closer. Obviously, for now, I believe Alvarado is going to be the closer / setup man, depending on the situation.
Yep.
But those are just three examples of Dave being smart and why he's not trading these guys the way that we would want him to. Like we talked about trading Andrew Painter and even Justin Crawford, but I mean, I still think Painter would be the only guy to go because he's got Tommy John surgery. But holding on to a guy like Crawford, to me, I don't see why it would hurt to trade him. But obviously, when he comes up, he's going to be a stud.
Yeah, I actually just going back to the Spencer Turnbull signing. I think that's honestly really smart. The guy threw a no-hitter into the 2021 year. And to sign him to a minor league contract, you have a ton of upside with that. Like you have one side where, I mean, if he sucks, then he sucks. You lose minor league money. But then if he's good, you look like a genius. So I feel like that's just a smart move overall. And I think I said this last time, but I do think if Justin Crawford is traded for somebody, I really wouldn't be against that, because his spot is taken, and especially if we sign Bohm to an extension, then his spot's mega taken. Like like there's pretty much nowhere where he could play because we're not booting Stott out. So like
I'm pretty sure he's. Well, I
yeah.
think the plan for Crawford was to be like Schwarber's replacement in the outfield.
Yeah, you see, I want to like that, but we now have like Marsh and Rojas, and they're pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just gonna be
Well,
tough to overtake one of them.
Well, Crawford's also, he's 19, 20.
Yeah.
He's still got 2 or 3 more years.
Yes.
By the time he's ready to come up, Schwarber's not going to be gone.
Yeah.
Castellanos might even be gone by that point.
Yeah, that's a good point.
What? He's got 3 more years left.
I say 2 or 3. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's if we don't. I think we'll end up trading him
I think
his
so
fourth
too.
or fifth year. But
Yeah.
yeah, maybe trading one of those guys will allow Crawford to come up at some point.
Yeah. Especially
yeah,
if Crawford catches fire in the minor leagues. Like imagine he's a similar situation as Rojas, where Rojas is killing it in like Double A, and then you're like, oof, we have this kid killing, and then all of a sudden Nick Castellanos is striking out 26 times in 2 games. So maybe.
Based off of minor league numbers,
Yeah.
I'm liking Crawford a lot.
Yeah.
Because, in Single A, he started off a little shaky, and then he caught fire. Like, he started, he started hitting more for average, and then they
He's
moved
not
him
a big
up
dude.
No, he's not. And then they moved him up to Double A, where he started hitting for average, and, his power swing started to come through.
Yeah.
And, he's in Double A right now. But the thing with Rojas was he started out in Single A, struggled a little bit, and then, just contact guy. Double A, same thing. And then Triple A, he struggled. And then when he started hitting the ball, his power started coming through.
Yeah.
He's not a big power guy, but, he'll hit the ball 420 farthest.
Yeah, and honestly, we don't really need a power guy. We have all these guys.
We need more guys to just put the ball in play, get on base. And Rojas is fast enough to swipe bags.
Yeah,
and Rojas and Marsh in the outfield. I like that a lot. Just 2 guys put bats a ball.
Yes.
They can easily turn a single into a double.
Yes. And I don't love the current narrative, both on Phillies Twitter and on Phillies social media right now, of people giving up on Johan Rojas just for the postseason he had. Sometimes how old is he? 20? How old? I completely forgot.
He's 22, 23.
Let's just say low 20s. Someone in your low 20s going into your first playoffs ever after you were just brought up is a lot. I think it could be a lot for any of us. And I feel like this narrative that he's not good, I think, has got to go away because he's awesome.
Well,
I think.
All right. He's 23 years old.
Exactly. So
he's put in the work for this offseason.
Huge.
He's jacked. He's lean. He's cut.
Yeah.
You got to let him develop and get used to the major league pitching. Because I was patient with him last year because going off of his numbers is okay, yeah, you're throwing a guy in the outfield in a year where he wasn't projected to come up to the major leagues.
Yeah.
And they also kind of rushed him through AAA too, so he didn't leave off.
Yeah.
Feeling too great about that. He comes in, makes incredible defensive plays. We didn't see a whole lot of power there. And I'm not even going to talk about the postseason because that's just you're facing the best pitching.
Exactly.
And you played maybe 30 games in the majors. But from what I saw in the majors, it's once he started putting bats to ball, his average, I think he finished around 280, somewhere between 280 and 300.
Yeah, 280, 275.
For the longest time. I know he didn't have as many at bats as everyone else, but he was hitting 320 for a while.
Yes.
2 home runs, one of them off of a position player, but another one was against the Braves in a crucial game where we needed that win to really hold on to the number 1 wild card spot.
Yeah.
He's got potential, and people are giving up on him because they think that, he sucked in the postseason.
Yeah.
I think he would even tell you that.
I think he will happily tell you that.
Oh, yeah, he's going to tell you that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's he's putting in the work to succeed. He's working hard. I'm sure there's other guys. All players across the league are working.
Yes.
For whatever reason, I feel like Rojas is working harder because he feels like I don't know if it's he let the city down, like he has to really prove himself.
Yeah.
Um,
If I'm
to
like a young
like,
guy like him, and you have like a huge fan base like us, I would almost feel like I need to prove myself again. Like at least to me, he proved himself enough in the regular season, just being him. But as soon as we crept into those playoffs, he started swinging for the fences, and now we see what happened.
mm-hmm.
And Rojas, I think, is a like a this might be a hot take, but a generational coming up like base stealer. Like this guy has some burners like Trey Turner, and it's crazy. Um, I, I do want to talk about Kirkering real quick too. I like the point that you made. Like I love that last year I mean, as we saw, he went from single A to double A to triple A to majors real quick, and he
Mm-hmm.
actually I think performed pretty well to considering he was a rookie in the postseason. He had
Having 3 regular season appearances,
That's what I mean.
allowing 0 runs
Yes.
in your first appearance, you strike out. You strike out like all 3 batters.
Yep.
You got a filthy slider. You can touch 101 with your fastball sinker.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna be filthy. Like he's the only guy that I like. The only thing I don't get is like come on, they put him against the Braves in
Yeah.
the playoffs. Like I know we won, but
But like
yeah,
it's
just like
Braves.
just it's the Braves. Like he's good, we get that, but you
Yeah.
can't rush him into it.
I
So
agree.
if they take their time with him and let him develop into that closer role, like he's gonna be deadly.
Yeah.
I
How
forget.
old is Kirkering?
He's young too.
I'm looking it up.
But when he was in the minors, I forget what team they were playing.
He's
But
22.
the
Sorry.
yeah, he's young too. But there
My
was one
gosh.
manager who like he told his team, he's like, look, this guy on the mound, he's not gonna be here much longer.
Right.
Why they kept Kirkering down there for so long,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm lost.
Because like it, well, I think part of it is like our bullpen was never struggling.
Yeah.
It was never awful. The only time where maybe we needed a replacement was with Bilotti when he was
Yeah.
throwing up a home run an inning, pretty much. That's when I would have brought him up.
Yeah.
But I think they just wanted him to get his confidence up before they could bring him up to the majors.
Right. And I completely agree. I don't think our bullpen was like a glaring issue last year. Like I think it was more of our starting pitching being a glaring issue, like only some pieces. But like I feel like the bullpen as a whole wasn't like awful. I think the thing that caught up with us with the bullpen is injuries, and then that's why he did come up and then
Mm-hmm.
showed out. I think that
Yeah,
was more.
our bullpen went from being a bottom 10
Yes.
to close to a top, like touching top 5.
Yeah, and I think if so, I had this thought straight up like 5 minutes ago. But like, imagine Sir Anthony comes back to Sir Anthony form, and he doesn't get hurt every 10 games.
Mm-hmm.
You got Alvarado closing, Sir Anthony 7 or 8, Kirkering
So,
7 or 8.
Soto's going to be here for spring training. So
Soto's
he's
gonna
like,
be pretty good.
because he missed spring training last year and he showed
Yes.
up a little bit late.
Yeah,
And I think that's why he struggled with his control.
yeah. And Gregory Soto is, I'm looking it up right now. He's 29. I think, but like he's like not a rookie 29, but like a younger 29, if that makes any sense, right? I mean, I think we can almost take the same approach as coaching to him as they did with Alvarado. Because if you remember,
Mhm.
Alvarado was
He was wild. He was just all
wasn't
over the
he wasn't
place.
like awful, but he was so wild, and Soto shows that same exact tendency. So I feel like, I mean, I'm obviously speculating. We have no idea, but I feel like it's not as hard to fix Soto over this offseason because they've already done it like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine we get Soto from that left side, and then we have two great hard throwing lefties, and then two great, and then Sir Anthony comes back, two really good righties also, which would be fantastic,
Well,
and then everybody else.
when we traded for Soto, one of the things that stood out to me was that the Phillies they got Soto. They then had the 2 hardest throwing left-handed relief pitchers
Yeah,
in the league.
yeah,
And everyone was saying like Soto is essentially a downgraded version of Alvarado because that
yeah,
last year was a year where Alvarado solidified himself as being like a top 10 relief
Guy's awesome.
pitcher slash closer.
Yeah.
And when he's going, he's the best. So when Soto's going, he's still allowing walks. So
Right.
if they can really coach him, bring down the walks, and really just work, for him, control's the big thing.
I agree. I completely agree. Because Soto doesn't just have that overpowering sinker fastball. He also has that gross slider and changeup,
Mm-hmm.
which is to me almost as good as that hard throwing pitch. Like imagine he uses that hard throwing pitch and then like also counters it with his off speed would be fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Again, similar to Alvarado, because Alvarado obviously is kind of known for throwing hard, but that 94 mile per hour what's it called cutter is disgusting. Like that might be one of my favorite pitches to watch on any Phillies team right now. Like that pitch is disgusting because no one knows what to do to it. And then Soto similarly has that with the slider changeup mix he's got too. So hopefully they use a similar like tactic on coaching him. But
Mm-hmm.
at least that's just what I hope. Just kind of. Another person that I'm kind of looking forward to. I know this is cliche, but I'm excited to see Bryce Harper actually start a season like right because we didn't have that last year, and then he
No.
didn't hit a home run for a month, and then he eventually caught fire in like August. So just seeing Bryce Harper in spring training is going to be fun, and it's going to be awesome.
Having Harper healthy for a full season,
Yes,
Trey Turner without the fluke.
yeah, without the yips.
I
And
mean,
then I think
that's
what's his name is going to be cool too. What's his name? Oh, sorry. I think Harper at first is going to be very interesting as well because I think he can only get better. Right?
what can he do?
Exactly. Like I'm just lost on that. Like he is so good. And then a guy like Bohm, and I actually really like your point about us extending him because like if you're Alec Bohm, what haven't you done to deserve an extension, right? Like he came up, couldn't play
And
defense, taught himself defense. Now he's a great third baseman,
and,
right?
and like they seem to have longevity plans for him
Yes.
where uh 2-3 years you move him to first base,
Yeah.
Harper back to the outfield,
Mhm.
and then at third base you have Aiden Miller.
Dude, Aiden Miller is he gonna be at spring training?
um he'll probably be at spring training,
Yeah, but
but
he
he's
won't really do much.
he's not going to be, he won't be up here for another 3-4 years.
Yeah, but he has risen dramatically. Because I remember us taking him, and then people being like, "Why do we just take a third base and we have Alec Bohm?"
I'm pretty sure he's already broken the top 100.
He has, and dramatically all of a sudden. So I'm if he does play, I'm very interested to see how he plays because I haven't really watched much on Aiden Miller, and like I love spring training because I love watching guys that I'm not really like familiar with. And
Mm-hmm.
Aiden Miller could definitely be one of those guys, especially because we took him last year with our first round pick, which would be very interesting. Um, and okay, is Justin Crawford going to be at spring training? I think he is.
Like they're going to have all these guys play
Yeah,
just to see, like,
it just be there.
just to, like, have put more eyes on them. Like we'll
Yeah,
be able to actually see them.
yeah, and I think the two of them is if we keep them is the future of this team, which is very interesting. And
Mm-hmm.
just to see them in their 19-year-old form would be really cool. Um, and yeah, and with I didn't think I'd comment on the Marsh thing. It's like didn't they describe it as like a arthroscopic type of surgery? I think.
It's very minor.
Yeah, it's like not huge, and I am an optimistic person. I think he's gonna be back for spring training, or sorry, opening day, because he did that interview today, and he sounded like he was very optimistic about it, and obviously it came out of left field for him, but
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm optimistic about it.
Well,
Yeah,
he's an optimistic guy. He's going to
yes,
want to be there opening day. And another thing is he essentially played through it
yeah,
last season
right,
because scrolling through Twitter
Mhm.
and just reading stuff about him, he
Yeah,
thinks that a play that he made in Cincinnati where he banged up against the wall
yeah,
is why he's having issues now.
yeah.
So I like that it was good enough, or it wasn't as bad, but it's to a point where he could play through it.
I do too, actually, and I this just sparked in my head, but imagine so that play in Cincinnati, and I guess he was hurt then, like, and it hardly even affected him. Obviously, I thought he had a very good postseason,
Oh yeah,
and honestly a very good year in general. So imagine,
I think honestly, in the postseason, especially in the NLCS, he was our
Oh yeah,
best hitter.
by far. Just like not even like a home run guy, just a
No, just
contact,
yeah,
just
just
type of
putting
guy.
it in play.
Yeah, which is not what some other guys did.
And he was and another thing that he struggled with when he was first coming up was lefty lefty. And in the postseason, he's
Yeah,
taking sliders outside, banging them over the third baseman's head for extra bases.
and then freaking out at second base. He is awesome. Like
He's he's electric.
he is. It's funny because Brandon Marsh is hard to describe to people because me being in Virginia, like when the normal fan sees Brandon Marsh, they go ew because of his
Mm-hmm.
hair. But I have to, but like in my head, I'm like, holy shit, this guy's awesome. Like
He can.
you can feel it through the TV when he puts his hands up like this and takes his helmet off. Like you can feel it through the TV, right?
People are saying that. I don't know what my thoughts are on this, but Brandon Marsh is due for
Yes,
for a breakout year. Like there are
yes,
some people who what was it? MLB Network's top 10 center fielders list had Marsh at 10. He's a left fielder now. Some
yep,
people have Brandon Marsh as being a top 5 left fielder,
yeah,
but a part of that is like he has to play every day.
yeah.
He can't play every day. And
I think so.
Dave put out I forget I don't know if it was straight from Dave's mouth,
Mm,
but someone did say that they're open to getting a center field bat.
I hope so.
And I think part of that is so that they have Rojas and Marsh kind of switching off.
Yeah,
Or maybe like an older vet guy where he's playing one out of every 5 games, letting
yeah.
Rojas adjust, and when Rojas adjusts, take this guy's ass off the team, kind of like a Josh Harrison situation.
Yes, and I honestly wouldn't hate that until kind of Rojas gets this like mojo back that he had. But I mean, I think we can both agree that I think Brandon Marsh should be an everyday player, and because I mean you traded your number one pick Mickey Moniak for him, put your trust in this guy, like and he obviously proved himself in the playoffs last year. So
Mm-hmm.
why not just like let him go and just see what happens when you play him every day. Um, and plus, I believe he's good enough. Like he's getting up there. Like I completely agree with you. I think he's gonna have a totally breakout year. Like somewhat to be like a Bryson Stott type of year from last year, when Bryson Stott coming into last year was like he was good, but he wasn't great.
He took a
Bryson
leap.
Bryson obviously took a leap average wise and on base percentage wise, taking balls everywhere. And then Marsh, I feel like could have a very similar like year, just especially average wise. Like we saw in the NLCS that there was not much power, but who cares? He's just putting the ball in play. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
And when you put the ball in play, good things happen. So
Yep.
I could definitely see a Marsh breakout year similar to Stott, or at least I
He
hope.
was well, and he kills it gap to gap, line to
Yeah,
line.
he
Like that's
does.
that's that's where he hits the ball. He's not going to hit it like right out of fielder. And
Yeah.
I like his approach too because he knows where the fielders
Yes.
are playing him.
Yeah.
And if you watch his swing, it's like he's like slapping. He's almost like slapping the ball into play, like
Yes.
where he wants it to go.
Yeah. No, he's totally slap hitting the ball, and I think that goes a lot to Kevin Long, because like approaches can only be so much mentally for like one person, but if you have another person telling you like don't like make sure that swing is like flat instead of like a uppercut type of thing,
Mm-hmm.
that's a hitting coach, and Kevin Long is obviously top tier at doing that, and that's been told by everybody. So yeah, I could definitely see a Brandon Marsh breakout similar to Stott. At least I hope so. Let me think. I wanted to talk to you about this. I'm interested to see how JT Realmuto does. Because let's be real here. He definitely took a step down last year, defensively at least in my opinion. His defensive numbers were not as good, and it pains me to say that. But offensively, he also took a slight step down as well. I just want to hear your thought on JT, just because he's a big part.
Uh,
Do you agree?
I don't think he's declining yet.
Okay.
I think he has. I think he definitely has one more like good year left.
Yeah. No, me too.
Maybe two more. Like
Yeah.
I think he's gonna step it up this year.
I hope he does.
There was no injury last year, but 2022 was his best season.
Yes, by
Like
far.
like by far his best season.
Yes.
Last season wasn't bad, but compared to that 2022 season, it was definitely
Stuff.
like he definitely took a step down.
Yeah.
But then you also look at the rest of the league: Will Smith, Jonah Heim, Adley Rutschman. Like there are a lot of other good catchers coming up.
Yes.
Not to say that JT is still not up there, but
Yeah.
for the longest time, he was valuable because there were not a whole lot of catchers as good as JT.
Yeah.
In a game where catchers are one of the most important positions,
By far.
the league seemed to be kind of weak with catchers.
I agree. But it's funny until recently because Adley Rutschman to me is the best catcher in baseball. And maybe I feel this way because listen, JT's bar, and I think we both agree with this, is being the best catcher in the entire league because he was for like what 5 years. The guy
Mm-hmm.
like whenever you would steal on him, he would get you out every single time. And maybe that's like the bar that I have, and I got to bring it down a little bit because he's getting older. Um, but there's guys like Adley Rutschman who is a stud switch hitting monster, and
There's
then
so many
Jonah
switch hitting
Heim
catchers.
again. That's a great pool. Jonah Heim is going to be so good.
Heim, Rutschman, Cal Raleigh.
You can keep
Um,
going, and
he's not
like
he's not he's not a stud, but Keibert Ruiz on the Nats.
but
He's a
like a
switch
good
hit. Like there's a
contact
lot.
guy.
Yeah, like there's a ton of switch hitting catchers coming out of nowhere.
I know. And the last one I can think of that was relevant was Jorge Posada. Like that
Yeah.
was the last one. And all of a sudden we have four good ones. Like Keeper Ruiz is I wouldn't say great, but he's about to have a great year. I think that's definitely a breakout player in my mind. And then you obviously have Cal Riley, Jonah Heim, and Adley Rutschman. So
Patrick Bailey,
and Patrick Bailey. Exactly. You
dude.
see what I mean? That's I just named five. So like it's crazy. And I feel like again since Jorge Posada, I haven't seen any of this, and I feel like Caleb, you used to catch. I feel like having a switch hitting catcher is a huge deal because like sometimes like having a backup catcher is rough. Like love Garrett Stubbs, but he's no JT, and to have someone that can hit both sides, I think is huge because you gotta call like that same exact game, and then there's not a whole lot of switching, and I don't know. I feel like it's a big deal. So I don't know.
What's his name? I think we have a catcher who one of the guys that we signed out of Venezuela. This past,
I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he's a switch hitter.
of course he is.
So we got to
Anyways,
do. So we have a guy down there who in the next I don't know 7-8 years could come up and be a switch hitting catcher for us.
I'm in with that.
But not to say I think this year for the number one catcher, it's going to be a clash between Adley, Real Muto, and I think Will Smith is going to like really try to push.
Will Smith, I would like that.
Will Smith, like he's a good hitter. Defensively, he's okay.
Yeah, he's as mid as you get.
He's as average as a defensive catcher in the league can get.
But that guy can rake though. That's why that's honestly why he's top five. Like that guy can just hit the ball.
Yep.
Yeah. So I actually completely agree with that list too because I think the Dodgers are gonna be really good, and at least if I'm Will Smith, I would feel like I have something to prove because like I want to be one of those guys on the Dodgers that are gonna contribute like everybody else. And at least my mindset, like I want to do as good as the person next to me, so I'm going to take my game up to be like Freddie Freeman and Shohei Ohtani, like all that. Yeah, that I'm not gonna lie to you though. That Dodgers team, low key scares me. I don't know about you. Okay. What do you think?
You got Mookie Betts. He's good.
Yamamoto.
He's good. You got I'm gonna go through their lineup first. You got Mookie Betts.
Okay. Yeah.
He's good. He's scary. You got Freddie Freeman.
Yep.
Scary. Okay.
Yep.
You got Ohtani. I think Ohtani's. I think like he's scary, but I think he's gonna have a down year.
I could see that there is a lot of hype, and I mean like love Bryce Harper, but that first year he was here, he did have a down year, stats wise. So I could see it.
Teoscar Hernandez.
Oh, I forgot about
he's a power guy, but he's also declined big time since he was with the Blue Jays. Max Muncy, power guy.
Gavin Lux coming back.
Average, kind of. Yeah, I don't think Gavin Lux, another contact guy.
Yeah.
Will Smith, we were just talking about him. Top 5 catcher, got a ton of power.
Yeah.
James Outman, he's a guy who could take a big step forward.
Yeah.
And then you still have Jason Hayward, as a platoon outfielder who
Riding on your bench.
who when he gets a hold of one can hit it a mile.
Yes. And their pitching is scary too. Sometimes I forget about they got Tyler Glasnow too.
Glasnow, Bueller, Kershaw,
Yamamoto.
Dustin May when healthy, Yamamoto.
That's gonna be
There's
crazy.
dude, they have two other young guys.
Bobby
Oh,
Miller.
Bob, don't they still have Tony Gonsolin too?
Tony Gonsolin. Yes.
But he's
Yes.
he's always hurt now.
Yes. I mean, in my opinion, I think they put Gonsolin in the bullpen just to be like a long rotation guy, like I guess like a 6-7 type of guy, just because he can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And he made an All-Star game 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Guy was disgusting. He had a 1.6 ERA or something. That guy was gross. Yeah. So that team to me does scare me. I mean, obviously they have Jay Roberts, so like I'm not that scared. But like everybody that you just named, like Mookie Betts, I would give him a top 10 outfielder, probably top 5. Freddie Freeman, top 5 first baseman.
He's a second baseman now.
That's right. Oh my God. So he's definitely one of the better second basemen, if not the best.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about they moving second base. Oh my gosh. Holy shit, that's gonna be crazy. Teoscar Hernandez, if he returns to Blue Jays form, is a top 5. I think right fielder, left fielder.
He's going to look good in that lineup because he's probably going to be what he's going to be somewhere 6, 7, 8.
6, 7, 8. That's what I was thinking. Yes.
And when he was with the Blue Jays, with the Mariners, he was a top 5 hitter.
Yep.
Where like there's a little more pressure on you to drive in runs. When he's at the bottom of the order,
yeah,
he's like I think he's going to kill it there.
I do too, and
especially in that LA lineup.
Yes. The Mariners, love the Mariners, but I feel like there's also a lot of pressure there, just because they're not as good, and like, but the fans are like, oh my God, we're gonna be pretty good, and then they don't make the playoffs, so it's just crazy.
Dude, they're not.
You know what I mean?
I know. They're still 2 years away, and a new owner in front office. Yeah, like because they have Julio Rodriguez, but you need more.
You need more than just.
You can't just like you have what top 12, top 10 pitching rotation
by far.
Your offense sucks.
Yeah.
Add to it. Add a couple more bats.
Bellinger. Just go out and spend.
Yeah, but you got
that would never happen though.
I'm just saying names. You got Julio in center.
Yeah, I'm just saying names.
Well, like even Ty France had a down year.
He did. And Ty France is good.
He's good, but they were also thinking about trading him.
Yeah, I never got that. I still think Ty France is pretty good. I think he's like a top 15, top 10, being like a bottom half first baseman. So I wouldn't get trading him. At least in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But you also have like a MVP candidate in Julio Rodriguez, who's going to be so good, and you just signed him to a 12-year deal or something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if I'm the Mariners organization, which I'm not, but I would try to add to this team just so you can like really get the most out of Julio's years. I don't know, just in my opinion. But one move that, speaking of the Mariners, one move that does kind of scare me, and it's going to be a very underrated move. I wonder if you're going to agree with me. But I think, like, imagine Jared Kelenic is good and he plays, and he got traded to the Braves. Imagine Jared Kelenic is the best Jared Kelenic version that we've seen, which is ridiculous. That's a fear of mine because good Jared Kelenic is unstoppable. What do you think?
If he's good for 1 month.
He is. But like
he's
imagine
good
he can
he's good for one. But I don't think he's going to be able to do it there.
You don't?
I mean, like, what are they going to, like, he's not going to be an everyday player unless you're like, because you got Ozuna. I mean, they'll probably throw him in lefts.
That's what I'm thinking.
Ozuna DH.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Right. Like, that's it. And didn't they give up Vaughn Grissom for him?
Yeah, Vaughn Grissom. He's in Boston.
Boston. That's okay. Sorry.
He's in Boston.
Yeah, for Chris Sale.
Yep.
And listen, I'm not going to jinx any. I'm not even going to say that. Never mind. I was going to say something about the Braves, but I'm not going to say because I don't want to jinx it down the road. Okay, we're done.
Chris Sale getting hurt?
Or something like that. I don't want to say
that. That trade's going to bite them in the ass.
I think it might because the Vaughn Grissom for a 40-some-year-old or high 30s makes zero sense to me.
When Sale's healthy, he's good.
Exactly,
but he's never healthy.
I agree, and Yeah, I just don't get it.
Because
And
when they're trying to fill gaps for guys like Kyle Wright,
that's what they're trying
you
to
know,
do.
yeah, and say like Sale's older.
Yeah, and very not to be that guy, but low key fragile. So
Mm-hmm.
and again, try not to jinx anything, but I'm not that scared of Chris Sale because we have guys on this team that could crush righties or sorry lefties. Trey Turner destroys lefties. Castellanos,
Castellanos destroys lefties. Boom.
Rojas even does well against lefties. Like you can, and then Marsh has obviously adjusted. Bryson Stott hit almost 300 against lefties, so you could even say a lefty like that crushes lefties.
As and yeah, and as long as Harper sees the ball.
Exactly. So, like, I'm not that scared of Chris Sale. And I think the Braves are just going to be like they were last year and like be a crazy regular season team, but then possibly crumble. So
Yeah, but they still got Freed.
I
I
agree.
I
And
think Freed Strider.
Strider, yeah, but they can crush us in the regular. Like my outlook on the Phillies now that it's happened for 2 straight years is completely different. Like for me, I'm like just make the playoffs. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just make it because if you make it, good things happen. When last year, like I would be annoyed when we would lose to the Braves. Like I don't know why. Probably because I hate the Braves, but like I would be genuinely annoyed when Strider would go like 8 strong with 10 strikeouts. Castellanos being three of them. Like it would really frustrate me. But like this year, I don't know about you. Like I have a very different outlook on the Phils. Like just make it. It's happened 2 years in a row now. Like I don't think a collapse like the Diamondback series will happen again. Knock on wood. Like I like just make it. Do you agree with that? Like I have a very different outlook.
No, I want them to win the division,
I would love the
and
division.
I think this year is going to be the year to do it because
Yes.
you got Harper for a full year.
Yeah.
Like
Turner.
we don't we,
Not
we don't
yips.
we don't need to make any moves. We have
No.
Harper for a full season,
Exactly.
hundred
Imagine
percent
Harper
healthy.
last year. Imagine Harper last year, full season. Damn. Damn. That's
We're
all I gotta say.
with Harper, we're a 100 win team.
Absolutely, I think
Dude,
we are.
think about it. Without Reese and Harper, we had Derek Hall playing first base. We had Cody.
Oh,
We
Derek
think
Hall.
about the first half. We had
I know.
so many guys coming and play first base. We didn't have like Schwarber was still in the outfield.
That
Like
was a rough team.
we were below 500
Yeah, that was definitely a rough team.
till around August.
Yeah. I actually didn't. I mean, Hall was bad because like we thought Hall was gonna be good. Like I thought Hall was gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't. I didn't hate how Cody Clemens played, but it's Cody Clemens and not Reese Hoskins there. Like it's just a big
Mm-hmm.
power difference. Like Cody doesn't hit for dingers; he hits for contact. It's a completely different player. And then Harper not being there. Yeah, that team. It wasn't like rough to watch, but it wasn't like oh I gotta watch type of thing. Like, but yeah, but as soon as Harper came back, dude, like that was. It happened 2 years in a row. All of a sudden, we won 13 straight on the road. Do you remember that? Like when we won 13, 14 straight on the road against the Marlins. Christian
Mm-hmm.
Pache go ahead home run. Like that was crazy. Harper on that team. So I don't know. Trying to think. The Nats don't really scare me. However, I do think they're going to get better. What do you think?
Well, they signed Joey Gallo.
Yeah.
They signed Jesse
Randall.
Winker.
Random.
They signed like there's power,
Yeah.
which is honestly what they needed.
Yeah.
Because they had Joey Meneses, C.J. Abrams, Lane Thomas, like a bunch of guys that put the ball in play, driving runs.
Right.
Throwing Gallo, I thought he had a pretty good season last year.
Yeah, Gallo gets shit on a lot, and I mean, rightfully so because he was in New York, like the biggest market. But I didn't think he played that bad in Minnesota. I don't know about you.
No, I thought he was good for them in Minnesota.
He played his role, just hit home runs. Like
Mhm.
like I felt like in New York, his role was diminished because Aaron Judge was that guy to hit home runs. But then once Aaron Judge went out, it was all on Gallo, and you're like, whoa, like that's a lot. But being on the Twins, and you got a guy like Royce Lewis, who's an upcoming star, Carlos Correa, and everybody else, and then you're like a playoff team. Like it's just less pressure. I feel like and even on those Rangers teams, there wasn't a whole lot of pressure on him, and he did well. And him
He
being on
was
this
like,
Washington team,
mashing.
he crushing for the Rangers, like crushing. So I don't know. I feel like he won't be that bad, but the Nats still don't scare me. Like I've got to the point with the Nats where I really don't root against them. Like if you beat like someone else, like good for you type of thing. Like I'm happy you won. Um, and then and then the Mets are weird. I don't know about you. They're just weird. Like Kota Senga is obviously a stud. I think you don't agree with this, but I think Fujinami's gonna be pretty good.
I
Um,
do, yeah, and then a lot
Stranded.
like just the whole Alonso situation is weird
Yeah, he's really boom or
because
bust.
well he's still in the trade mix. Like teams
Yeah,
want to trade for him,
yeah,
and from what it sounds like is essentially the Mets are not if by the trade deadline they know they're not going to make the playoffs or that it's just too competitive and they know they can't compete.
right.
I think they'll end up trading him.
I can totally see that too. And I actually like Francisco Lindor as a player. Obviously not as a Met because I hate the Mets, but like I kind of feel bad for Francisco Lindor because he kind of signed into that being like, ooh, the Mets could make noise in the NL East, and then they were awful last year.
Mhm.
To be
But
nice, they were awful.
yeah, but well, they have Francisco Alvarez coming up.
Yeah, he'll be good. I think he's gonna be
He's
good.
he's gonna be good.
Yeah,
And the outfield's a little rough.
yeah.
Alonso at first, where he didn't do a whole lot last year.
He just hit home runs.
Jeff McNeil had a down year. Brandon Nimmo, he didn't have an awful year.
But like
It's just that the Mets weren't that good, so a lot of those guys
exactly
just kind of got swept under the rug.
right.
And then Brett Beatty at third base was atrocious last year.
Yeah, especially defensively, he was awful.
He was awful.
And then Starling Marte obviously took a step down, hitting wise at least.
Yep. And then one of their more clutch hitters, Mark Hanna,
Yeah,
they traded away.
yeah, which was dumb. Happy about it because he's not in the NL East anymore, and he would crush the Phillies. But that was dumb. He's on the Brewers now, right? Brewers, I think it's Brewers.
I think he's a free agent, but he was with the
free
Brewers. He was with the Brewers last.
Yeah, yeah. So that team's just. I'm gonna say it again. That team's kind of weird to me because they really like imagine if last year went completely well for the Mets, they would have been really good with Scherzer and Verlander. Like imagine barring zero injuries, like take the injuries out, that team would have been good last year with Senga, the two older guys, and then everybody else. I do think Acuna's brother, I forgetting his name. I think his name's Luis. Luis Acuna. I think he's going to be good. But my problem with that is I think the Mets think right now that they're going to contend and they're going to push him up too early. What do you think? Like I have a bad feeling about it.
I don't think they're going to push him.
I hope not for him.
Look, every team's going to try their best to compete.
Yeah,
because it's your professional team. You got to compete. You can't just be like, oh, it's not a year. Like we're going to tank.
Right.
It's not like the NFL where teams really try to lose for draft picks. Like baseball's not like that. It's 162 games.
It's way harder.
You out there. Players like they'll get tired. Still give it their all. I don't think they're going to rush him. I think Cohen's smart enough to realize he wasted a ton of money. And and they got a new manager too. It was from the Yankees.
Yes, which I actually don't hate.
I don't hate that either.
Yeah, because they need something different.
But I think they know not to rush a lot of the guys in their minor leagues. So let me look at Beatty was not ready.
No, not even close. But I think that they felt like they needed to do that because they needed a spark, and Beatty was not that spark.
Nope.
And I actually think Francisco Lindor, barring everything last year, played pretty well. Like he wasn't awful, but he was pretty good. Like I wouldn't say he was great, but he was good enough to be like a solid shortstop, right? I mean,
I think he played. Let's see. Would you say Lindor was the top shortstop last year across the league?
He was up there. I would put him top 3. I'm gonna look it up right now
because I know Turner wasn't up there.
No.
I can't even think of some of the top shortstops.
No, blanking out too. I think he was better than Xander Bogaerts. I do think Bo Bichette's better than him, or at least last year.
But Bo Bichette's defense is awful.
What's his name? Corey Seager, I think, was better than him. I think Corey Seager.
No. Seager was the best.
Yeah. I can't believe I'm blanking out right now. Dansby Swanson, I think Lindor is better than Dansby. Carlos Correa, I think, was better. I think Bobby Witt this year is going to be better than Francisco, especially with that big contract. And low key, Royals kind of cooked. Like they did well. Um, Wander Franco.
Yeah, I would like to see the Royals make like one more move though,
Me
because
too.
like they got pitching.
Yeah. All of a sudden.
This yeah, like if as soon as they get like Perez's replacement at catcher,
Mhm.
I think they'll be good.
I do too. Um, Marcus Simeon was pretty good. He's a second baseman though, so you can go back and forth. Uh, but yeah, I would say Lindor was a top four, top three. Um, yeah, I would say that because I thought Gunnar played really well last year.
Hmm.
Um,
But he wasn't Gunnar. Wasn't he a DH towards the end of the year?
he was by the end he was because
Yeah,
what's his name played that position? I'm blanking out.
Mateo,
Yes, Mateo.
Jorge Mateo.
Yeah, Pena had a down year too, but I feel like call me out if I'm wrong, but like taking out Corey Seager, I feel like it was like a low-key down year for shortstops.
Yeah,
Right? You know what I mean? Like,
Bogarts had a down year. Correa had a down year.
yeah,
Turner had a down year.
Bichette raked, but he can't play defense. Like,
Yeah.
you can keep going, and it's weird because shortstop is like the quarterback of the infield. Like that guy. Like you need that guy to be solid. Um,
Hmm.
we're lucky that Turner kind of turned it on at the end, but just I think we honestly as a fan base saw how important the shortstop position is when Turner was not good and even not good defensively. It kind of changed the game,
Hmm.
just in general.
No, last year was definitely a good year for catchers.
Great year for catchers all of a sudden
Great,
too,
yeah,
because
like
you
all over the place, just
yeah
all star caliber players.
talk to us 2019 to 2020. Like I wouldn't say it was
It was
weak.
not a whole lot.
I wouldn't say it was weak, but it wasn't a strong thing of the MLB. You know,
Hmm.
so I don't know. I'm trying to think. Uh, well, I don't think the Diamondbacks are going to be as good as last year. What do you think? They
No,
they did make some good
they traded
stuff.
for Eugenio Suarez.
Yes, which I liked.
Uh,
They got
they
what's his name back? Uh,
Lourdes Gurriel Jr.
Gurriel back.
They resigned him.
I'm
I,
missing one.
I'm pretty. I want to say they added a pitcher,
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
but
But
like
I
like
as a whole, like
I don't think they're going to be able to repeat that.
yeah, I agree. Because like that was low key like the Phillies. You know what I mean? Like it came out of nowhere. Like
Hmm.
they honestly came out of nowhere. Um, let me see. I'm forgetting one, and they have one good one. Oh, they got Jock, right?
How could we forget Jock?
I don't know how I could forget Jock. Yeah, Tucker Barnhart. Oh, they got Rodriguez. That was the pitcher.
Yeah,
That
but
is a good ad.
I don't like that. I mean, I know a
It's
lot of
weird.
people in Philly wanted him, but
Yeah,
he gets knocked around.
he does. He's very hot or cold, and his hot is
Yeah,
hot, but his cold is so cold. You know,
yeah.
like Loki, like Aaron Nola. Like his hot is hot though.
I
So
mean, but
I'll go with that.
I guess playing in a stadium that big will probably help him, where it's like
That'll
balls are
help
going
any
out of the
pitcher. I
yard.
hate that dumbass stadium.
It's just,
Excuse me, but oh my gosh,
dude, like just center field.
so stupid.
It is so deep.
It's 415, but 415 not thinking about how high you have to hit it off the ball. You know, like that. Like to me, that is crazy.
Hmm.
um, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the Diamondback, I don't think will be as good. Especially like I feel like they had a lot of guys overachieve. I think Corbin Carroll will be good again because that's Corbin Carroll.
Corbin Carroll with the O's is going to be and they might even try to trade for Jesus Luzardo.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
well,
Corbin Burns, Dean Kramer healthy,
yes.
Jesus Luzardo,
Kyle Bradish is good, even though he just
Cal
tweaked his
Bradish.
ACL today. But or
Hmm.
sorry, UCL today, in spring training. But Kyle Bradish is a stud. So so Spence here is an Orioles fan. I think the Orioles are gonna be good, like good as fuck, like really good. Uh,
Number one again.
I really think so. Like think about it. Kyle Bradish is a very similar pitcher to Corbin Burns, very similar, minus the big curveball. But I was watching like just highlights, and they're very similar, similar cutter, very similar sinker, very similar changeup. Like their pitches move, and they have a very similar miles per hour rate, but Burns throws a little harder. But like I was telling Spence, I was like, dude, like Corbin Burns, getting him for pretty much nothing, right? You have DL Hall, who is a failed experiment as a relief pitcher, and then another infielder that I'm blanking out on, and a catch and a pick. Like that. That's what you got for a Cy Young.
I think that's the Brewers' way of saying like we know we're not
Yeah.
going to be able to compete.
Just take
We know we're not going to be able to re-sign him.
Yeah.
We'll take whatever. We'll take the draft pick.
Yeah.
Get something out of it.
Please take it. And I like if I had to pick like a second or third team, I would definitely pick the Orioles. Like I just root for them, and according to him, they kind of root for us too. So it's pretty cool. And they're so young. Just thinking about it, right? Like they're so young, and like last year, obviously they got a little taste of the postseason. Didn't win a game, but they got a little taste. Lost to the world champions
Rangers. Yep.
So I feel like a little bit of experience is going to do them really well especially Gunnar, because Gunnar did not play well.
Gunnar.
Adley either.
Yeah, like Adley didn't. Well, Gunnar he went yard once, but Santander Santander and Aaron Hicks were the two guys making noises for them.
Which makes sense. They're the older veteran type of guys.
Yeah. So hold on to them.
Yeah. Definitely.
There's a replacement somewhere for them.
Yeah, and I like Mountcastle a lot at first base. That guy hits moonshots.
He reminds me of Reese, dude.
He does. He just hits moonshots, and he's young.
Hits nukes. Yeah.
Yeah. I love Gunnar when he's playing to what he's usually playing. I love Adley. So again, switch hitting catcher, stud. Jorge Mateo can fly. Like that team's gonna be good. How do you think? I don't think we've talked about this yet. How do you think Soto is going to be on the Yankees? It's gonna be very interesting to me.
I think he's gonna be good there.
I think so too.
The thing is
because they definitely got him for a 1-year rental because he ain't staying.
He's not staying.
Yeah.
And you know how like right field is like really short there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. He's gonna hit like 40.
If he gets like pool happy, I don't think he's going to be that good.
You don't?
If he lets the ball travel to him and he hits it to where the ball is,
yeah,
I think he's going to be a stud there.
I do too. I think he's going to be good. Him and Judge are going to be awesome together, like a 1-2 punch type of thing. It's going to be fun to watch. And Garrett Cole's still Garrett Cole. Like
Garrett Cole's a stud.
He's awesome.
They got Marcus Stroman,
another stud. I forgot about Stroman. Oh my gosh, yeah. Stroman to me going to the Yankees was shocking because he didn't take that much money.
Mm-hmm.
He obviously just wanted to be the Yankees.
And they got they gave up Michael King to the Padres. Oh, yes. They also have Trent Grisham in the outfield.
Trent Grisham, who's not that bad either. He's pretty good.
He's good defensively. His bat's not worth shit, but his defense is.
Yeah. The Padres are going to be very interesting to me as well. Losing Soto, will Tatis and Machado carry that team pretty much? I don't really know. And Cronenworth, they just signed to a big deal, so.
Well, here's the thing: if the clubhouse is still as cancerous as it was last season,
because it was,
then we know it's either Machado or Tatis because we know it's not Bogarts. He hasn't caused problems in the past.
It was never Soto.
And well, we don't know. Maybe it was.
Could have been.
But all right, but it's like if the Yankees, if they start doing well, or if the clubhouse there is knocking along, so that we know it's Soto.
Exactly. Yes. And the funny thing is, I really don't think it's going to be Soto. I think it's going to be Machado or Tatis. They're both I don't know, because they're another weird team to me. Like they when they're hot, about it as an MLB fan, right? Like Tatis hits a moonshot, flips the bat, points at Machado, and starts sprinting around the bases. That they're hot. But when they're cold, you also know it well.
They blame each other because you got a bunch of all-stars on the team but it's you have the kind of all-stars where they want the cameras on them.
Yeah, but let's be real here. There's one camera. So how and there's one spotlight. So how are you going to just fill that spotlight with all three of those guys and now two? That team to me is as interesting as the rest because I have no idea how they're going to be. I don't know about you. I have no idea how the Padres are going to be. No idea. Because they still got Darvish, who's pretty good. Their bullpen's pretty good. They have Musgrove, like they're going to be like they're still. I don't know if you agree with me, but still like name wise, like they're there. Like they got Bogart still. Like this team is good, but like it's very interesting to me how if they're going to win or not. You know?
They're always going to be their name wise because also got
Yeah. Haas.
Ha Song Kim,
Nice.
and
Yeah,
they picked up another Japanese pitcher too.
they did. I forgot. I'm blanking out on his name.
I don't know his name, but they picked him up as well.
Yeah, he's good though. I remember watching highlights of him. He's good.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants are gonna be okay. They got that really good. I'm blanking on his name. Um,
How Yu Lee?
yes, that and he's so good out of the KBO. That guy's awesome. And that team last year was really just lacking hitting, and they definitely got it with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna hit nukes, especially in that.
Dude, I think he's gonna be the first guy that comes over from Japan that like really does struggle.
Really? Why do you think that?
Just his swing.
It is
I,
funky.
I don't like his swing, and then
It's
he's
weird.
just. I mean, one thing that's going to work out with him in San Francisco, and him
Right.
being a lefty, and right field being really deep, is that he's another bat to ball type of player.
He is.
He's not a big power guy.
Yeah,
He's kind of like downgraded version of Ichiro.
I see it. I like it. It's a good comparison.
Just I don't think his swing. He's got one of those swings where I don't think it's going to translate over well.
I guess we'll see because he was really good in the KBO, like really good. So
Mm-hmm.
but again, he's one of the guys where you really don't know what you're going to get because you really haven't seen him in the MLB yet. So same situation with the guy in the Padres from the
So
KBO.
yeah, so like Ha-Sung Kim, he's gonna be one of those guys that I'll watch for
Yeah.
spring training,
Yeah,
see kind of what how he's doing, check in
Yeah.
on his average, hard hit ball percentage, all that stuff.
I think he's going to be good this year, Hassan Kim. I don't know about you. I think if he hits for average, he's going to be good. But
Yep.
if he starts like overswinging, like he did low key last year, at some points in the beginning, like he's not going to be good. Because
Well,
yeah,
Kim found it. He got his groove towards the end of last season. Like
He
I'd say like. Because was he? No, he wasn't an all-star player, but he was definitely one of those guys
he was on the
that
fringe.
could have been.
Yes, yeah, he was definitely on the bubble for like a guy that could have went in, and rightfully so. He was raking. So,
Mm-hmm.
let me think. What are some other interesting teams you have? Trying to think.
Well, the Cubs.
The Cubs are going to be interesting.
I'm pissed they didn't get Hoskins because I really wanted Hoskins to go to the Cubs, but
Me
if they
too.
do sign Bellinger, then I think they'll be in a good spot because they got Shoto Imanga as well.
Yes,
They lost they lost Stroman, but they still got Justin Steele.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think Justin Steele's the
Kyle
most.
Hodges is still there.
Yeah, I think Justin Steele's the most underappreciated pitcher in all of baseball. What do you think?
He's good.
I think
He's
that's
good.
awesome.
Yep.
I think he's so good. And have you seen the thing on Twitter? I think, or in an interview, I saw this.
Oh, he was like, I'm on eBay looking for Shoto Imanga cards.
Yes, because of how good he looked. Like that's
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that's big praise from a I would say a top, in my opinion, a top 5. But like I would definitely say a top 3 lefty. Like that guy, like to get praise after first day or two with Justin Steele, I think is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And good for him, I guess. But I really wanted Shota Minga bad. I wanted him bad because that guy, I think he's gonna be really good. What do you think?
I think he's gonna be good.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be good. I think he's gonna start out slow, but I think he's gonna like figure out how to approach the hitters a little different.
Yeah.
So probably towards like the All-Star mark.
Right. And this is honestly, it's very interesting with all of the Japanese and Korean players coming over, because we have no idea what we're gonna get. Like they obviously killed it in whatever league that they're playing in, but the question is, will that translate? And obviously for Otani, it did, but will it translate here? You know, and for Hassan Kim, it definitely took a minute, but he's here.
Even like Seiya Suzuki, he's gonna float between like having showing all-star potential and then just being average.
Yeah, I agree.
Like he's never going to be the superstar that a lot of people thought he was going to come over and be.
Right.
And same thing with Kodai Senga. Like he's
Mm-hmm.
good, best pitcher on the Mets,
By far.
but I don't think he's going to ever he's got top 20 potential, but I don't think he's ever going to be like a top 10 pitcher in the league.
I don't either. That Ghost Fork's gross, but I agree.
Like he
And
gets lit up aside from that.
yeah, we have lit them up beside of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think about some other teams. Do you have anyone else?
No, I think that's all we got for today.
All right, let's do it. Thank you all so much for watching. Honestly, a great episode. Really happy we pretty much hit every good team for the most part, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for the support on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Low-key been killing it just like recently, especially on TikTok, killing it. Thank you all so much for that. Make sure to check us out on YouTube, Spotify. We're pretty much all on all the social media apps, so check us out. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Yeah, thank you.